Good morning, gurus. Welcome to another episode. Hope you're having a beautiful day. We're going to jump in charts for Bitcoin, Ethereum. Hit the subscribe button, smash that thumbs up button, turn on the bell. This weekend, we just had drops and sideways movements. Bitcoin and Ethereum still looking weak, but holding the supports. If the market starts to move up again, they will push out. So we're going to look at the technicals and see what that's telling us. Let's jump into technicals for Bitcoin now. We're going into the technicals. Right now, the market has been just kind of red or flat almost. 111,000 Bitcoin, 4,300 Ethereum. No movements at all much on the weekend, which is weird. On the monthly chart, you can see that we've got around... We're at this rising wedge. You can see it tried to break out. And you can see we're exactly at the, look, this was the 2017 bull market. And look at the trend line, bit of a warning sign actually. This is the trend line, this white one from 2017. So we're talking, who remembers the 2017 market where we had 8 years ago? Wow, where it dropped on Christmas 8 years ago. 2017, 2021. And now, if you look at this line, this is the 2024-25 bull market. And it perfectly lines up with that resistance. It broke out twice, but got pushed back in. Interesting to see. Stochastic is overbought, heading up. That's kind of worrying because you can see the last time it exactly did this, first touch dropped from 20,000 down to 3,000. This one from 69,000 down to 15,000. And now you can see we're exactly at this resistance right now. Let's go closer on the weekly. On the weekly, you can see where it broke out, double topped at 124. Could really be the top for Bitcoin. And then pull back to support at 111. But stochastic is oversold. The last time we hit that, you can see here, in 2021, we hit 69K, which was exactly the top that it hit 64, and then the high was 69. And the stochastic was overbought, and then it came down slowly all the way down to 17K. Before, when the stochastic was oversold, it came down to 32K, so it did a 50% drop. But this time, the stochastic is nearly oversold, and we went from 124K down to 107K. But that's just a bit worrying, that major white support line. We've got to think about that, actually. Not to go too heavy because of that. On the weekly, the stochastic has reset, but that resistance line is a little bit worrying. And you can see that rising wedge has played out on Bitcoin. If that follows through, that would come down to around 87K, which would be almost a 50% drop from the 124K, or a 40% drop. On the weekly, though, stochastic is oversold. On the daily, it's getting a bounce. And on the daily, you can see we've got this descending wedge that's trying to play out. Builds pressure and then breaks out, but usually can go a bit lower. 118K would be the target. But that's worrying, that main trend line on the monthly. When you look at this chart, that's really something to concern about. Because you can see it exactly came to the 2017 bull market. Then these two touches, 64K, 69K. And when that lines up, that was exactly 124K. So I would be cautious getting a lot of spot here or just going heavy. Can trade, but with tight stop losses, because that is a bit of a pattern to be worried about. Also, another thing, on Bitcoin, it usually finishes the run 500. If you watch here, from the halving in 2021, it took 579 days to reach the top. 579 days from the halving to reach the top from April 2020. And from April 2024, it's now been 518 days. And if we measure out 560 days, because it's the month, if we go on the weekly, 560 days, you can see we're quite close to the top based off this. If we measure out how long it's been since the halving, we are now We are now 497 days out of 560, so less than 2 months left, according to this. On the weekly, the stochastic is oversold. On the daily, the stochastic's descending wedge, which I showed you on this chart, playing out. But the bigger rising wedge is still playing out. It already broke down, like I warned about, from 115. We broke down and started to come down. If that plays out, 87K. That's something to worry about, that monthly trend line. So I'll show you how I draw it. I mean, it doesn't exist on perpetuals because they didn't exist back in 2017. It only exists on spot. And you can see it lines up perfectly with the 2024 top, 2017 top, and now the 2025 top. A little bit worrying. But on the daily and the weekly stochastics, we've got a little bit of a descending wedge. But on the daily, we've got a rising wedge, that bigger triangle. And then on the daily, we've got that smaller wedge. I would be just cautious here. Be very tight stop losses, tight trades. That trade where I set yesterday, I would keep the safer trade at 106, stop loss 104, and take profit at 127. Risk toward 11 times, risking 1,900 to make 21,000. 10x leverage will be 210,000. But we have to keep aware that we've only got around 2 months remaining for that 560 days, and that 124K might have been actually the top, according to that trend line, which we see here on the weekly. But according to this, we have 2 months remaining. Let's go into Ethereum, 4,300. On the monthly on Ethereum, you can see it broke out of this huge symmetrical triangle, which is very bullish, and the volume is increasing now, which is good to see. Builds pressure, and broke out, and it's already broke out. Target 7,800 of this breakout. Stochastic is heading up, but already overbought on the monthly. Crypto Guru Bot, Bitcoin Indicator Bot on the weekly are fired a sell. And the Crypto Guru Bitcoin Indicator Bot fired a sell. The Crypto Guru Bot fired a buy. Little bit of warning signs, to be honest. Stochastic overbought on the weekly, heading down. Let's look at the weekly indicators for the Guru Bot and Crypto Indicator Bot. Guru Bot is still a blue buy from 20K, hasn't fired a sell yet. Bitcoin Indicator Bot fired a sell 5 or 6 weeks ago, exactly at the 124K top. So I'd be very cautious here, and I've got orders all laddered down. So you can see my orders laddering down, 106, 105, 102. I'm currently in trades. My Bitcoin trade is currently, my account 871. My Bitcoin trade currently 5,300 in profits. Ethereum pulling back 6,000. It's down 100, but it's a big trade. It's down $100, but that equals $6,000 because it's almost a $286,000 trade. You can see my orders have been picking up Ethereum at 4,200. But that Ethereum sign is a little bit worrying, to be honest. That Bitcoin sign that I was just showing, the technicals, I need to share that warning. Let's go back. Let's look at the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies. This is the total 3.7 trillion on the monthly chart. You can see we've got a rising triangle. It looks kind of like a rocket building pressure. Target of that would be 5.3 trillion. And if we measure out the top of the altcoins from 2017, you can see where it went. It went to 800 billion in 2017. Then it went all the way down to 2. I think the low was 100 billion. So it went from 800 billion in 2017 down to 100 billion. Then in 21, it went up to 3 trillion, and then it came down to 700 billion. And now it looks like it's pushing up. The resistance of that trend line is sitting at around 5 trillion. Huge volume on the last month on altcoins. On the last week, we got big volume, stochastic turning up. This triangle still looks like altcoins can have a pump. However, a little bit of a rising wedge. It's a little bit of a rising wedge as well. It could go either way, but rising wedges usually break down. Same like Bitcoin. Not the best charts, to be honest. Let's go on to the daily. On the daily, we hit 4 trillion, then it pulled back. That was the high, 4 trillion. Stochastic oversold heading up. On the 4-hourly, oversold heading up. So it still looks like there's more for altcoins to push, but those resistance lines, so 2 months is my opinion, and potential altcoins hitting 5 trillion. Let's see how that plays out. Again, I'm long on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and TON. Ethereum and TON currently down, Bitcoin currently up. I'm building positions, but I can't build too big of a position because we've got 2 months left. And I've been warning about that resistance line and the rising wedges. 173 people online right now on a Sunday night in the Guru chat. You can join them in here. They're discussing trades, charts. Get the premium on Telegram so it converts all languages to English or whatever language that you're using. It's international chat. All the links are down below. Under the video, Bybit 60k bonus, WeX $200 bonus on sign up, KYC free, and taking the courses to learn about this. And follow me over on X. I've got 110,500 followers. This was in 2017 when Bitcoin went from 20k down to 3k. 3k was my support line, and it actually went to 3k in 2020. That was in 2018, so 7 years ago. Saylor was buying more Bitcoin yesterday. Let's see how much he bought. Russia announces a cancer vaccine is ready for use, which sounds amazing. Hopefully it's true and it comes out. That's my updates in the market. Everyone hit the subscribe button, smash up, thumbs up, and turn on the bell. I'll be very cautious going heavy here. Time to go heavy was 17k. Time to take profits is now. And defending your capital and making trades, but with very tight stop losses. I still think Ethereum altcoins still have room to run, but we are coming close to that 2-month, 4-year cycle finish. Hit the subscribe button, smash up, thumbs up, and turn on the bell. If you have questions, let me know down below. I'm going to read all the comments in the next video. I love you all, and in the next video, I'll also do Tesla. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.